Welcome everybody, welcome back to Homestead Hearts. And today you all, I'm out running some errands, and decided that I would do a video because it was something I had been thinking about. And I know you see the title of the video, and I know a lot of you already have a plan, but so many of you do not. So many people are just used to winging it, you know. So many people are just used to winging it. But what are you going to do when it all falls apart? What are you going to do when it all falls apart? I mean, what are we going to do when it all falls apart? Because we're all included in that. Best case scenario is that we're home with our families and we've been preparing as much as we can. And you know what? And being realistic, you know, I had this conversation with with a family member. I'll just say that. I had this conversation with a family member, and they were saying to me, well, I don't have extra money to go and do this and go and do that and go and do this and go and do that. And at first I kind of accepted that. But then I called them back and I was like, wait a minute. You don't have no money? None whatsoever. Not nothing at all. Nothing. No, nothing. Everything goes to bills. I said everything. I said, wait a minute, didn't you tell me that y'all went out to what was some pizza place? Didn't you tell me y'all went out for pizza last week and the week before that? Yeah. How many 6-packs of sodas are you buying every single week? Because I know you love sodas. So how many 6-packs are you buying every week just to maintain your love of drinking soda pop? Yeah. How much are you spending on that big bag of Doritos that you love so much all the time? Well, that's stuff that I have to, you know, I don't buy much, but that's what I have to buy because I love these things. I don't buy myself much, but when I do buy myself something, that's what I do. I said, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But you just proved my point that you do have something. You do have something. If you can cut down a little bit on the soda water. My dear used to say, or we used to say growing up, soda water, soda pop. Maybe not buy 2 6-packs a week. Maybe try to cut down a little bit. Maybe not go out for pizza every week. Maybe reduce it to once a month. How much money will you find right there? If you didn't smoke a pack of cigarettes a day, and I'm not talking about this person, but I'm just saying, if you didn't smoke a pack of cigarettes a day, how much money would you save in a month's time if we cut back in places where we think we can't cut back in? So, what are we going to do when it all falls apart? We can come up with all kind of reasons why we can't do certain things, but you all, I'm going to say this. Sacrifice a little now so you don't have to suffer later. You know, it's better, in my opinion, it's better to say, well, I was gonna spend this 25, well, I don't know, how much does a large pizza cost nowadays? And pizza and wings, how much does that even cost nowadays? How much is a pack of cigarettes nowadays? You got so many different brands of cigarettes, but how much does a pack of cigarettes cost? How much is a 6-pack of what is that they drink? Minute Maid sodas or something. How much is a 6-pack of that now? Or a 2-liter Minute Maid, or how much is it? Things are getting worse, right? If we're paying attention to what's going on globally, do not think for a moment that what's happening globally is not going to affect you and us, right here in this country. Don't think for a moment that we are not going to be impacted, because we are already being impacted, and we're going to be we're going to suffer more and more of an impact as things continue to escalate, right? So what are we going to do? Not if it falls apart, but when it falls apart. Look at the banking institutions. You know, I put myself in the mind emotionally of those people at different banks that have failed over the years, and here most recently Silicon Valley, and they're up and going now. But can you imagine that? Imagine you just got paid. You done worked for 2 weeks. Imagine you just got paid and your money is in the bank, and you go to use your ATM card or your debit card, and it says your account is locked. And then you get word that the bank has closed. You know, that's devastating. Because you might be riding on fumes as it is, waiting on that paycheck so you can get to the gas station and put some gas in your car to make it the next week. And the employers don't want to hear where my bank is closed, so I can't come to work because I ain't got no gas. You better borrow some, but you better get here. The children, it's, you buy grocery when you get paid, right? And the refrigerator is almost empty. You might have some bread and something else in there. And so it was time for you to go to the grocery store. You were looking forward to your paycheck because you've worked hard for it. You've earned it. just for the bank to tell you, I can't give you no money. We don't know when we're going to be open again. We don't know if we're going to open again. We don't know when you'll get access to your funds. Now, FDIC insured banks, fine. But at what point in the future will that not even matter? At what point in the future will it not even matter? That's gut-wrenching. To think you've worked so hard for something and you can't get $1. You done got paid and they done deposited what, $1,100 or $1,200? If you minimum wage, it may be that. Not after taxes though. And you've been waiting on that $900 check for 2 weeks because you live, as Dr. Lynn Richardson say, paycheck to Monday. Not paycheck to paycheck, but paycheck to Monday. Because you get paid on Friday. After all the bills are paid and the groceries purchased and the gas is put in the car and the children are taken care of, Monday come, you broke again. And so many people that live like that. Can you imagine going to a bank and they won't give you nothing? Your card don't work? What are you going to do when it all falls apart? I mean, that's hurting my heart to even think about that. Because, you know, when you think about the average person that's just a banana peel away from being in a terrible life situation, just a banana peel away. This is why some people can't afford to take off when they're sick, because that 1 day or that 2 days or 3 days of missing work, they know that something is going to get cut short and won't get paid. They can't even afford to take a day off. So many women go on maternity leave. They really can't be gone long to really be with their babies and bond with their babies, because they got to get back to work. Because they got to keep a roof over the children's heads. So they go back to work 2 weeks after they done had the baby. I know some people that went back to work a week after, and the employers are okay with that. The employers are not even caring enough to say, you probably need to take a little more time. You literally just had this baby. Your body needs to heal. But so many women can't even afford to take time off for maternity leave. They get right back to work within a week. They right back at work. I done seen it happen. I'm trying not to do videos like this often, but sometimes I can only hold it for so long, I suppose, you know, because I feel like I need to say it and should say it, because maybe somebody who hasn't thought about it, maybe this will provoke some thought. To say, wow, if that happens to me and the bank is closed and I can't get a dime for weeks on end, or maybe not at all, what am I going to do? I got children. I got bills to pay. What am I going to do? What kind of landlord do you have? If you renting, what kind of landlord do you have? Do you have a cold-hearted landlord that could care less whether the bank shut down or not? Look, better have my money, right? Yeah. That's just gut-wrenching. The thought of it all. Young mothers and fathers and little children, the elderly, and everybody in between who just striving really hard to just make ends meet. Well, what do you suggest we do, Mrs. H? You're telling us about this part, but what do you suggest that we do then? What do you suggest? What should we do? You all start finding a way to cut back. If you have poor spending habits, work on improving them right now. Start taking a little bit of what you save and put it away. You know, my mother, you know, let me tell you, you know, people back in the day, they were already trained for this. See, this why if you needed money for something and you had to ask mama or big mama or mother, and they was like, okay, go look in the closet behind the box on the top shelf, pass the purse on the other side of the other shoebox, pass the sock inside the other sock, and bring it to me inside the sandwich bag. I think I got $15 in there. Some folks used to bury money. You know, I got people that I know that used to do that. They're older people that are no longer here. And of course, I wonder, like, how much money, I wonder, is on this land somewhere, just buried all over the place. I wonder how much money we would find, because they knew they needed to do that. They didn't trust banks. They did not trust financial institutions to hold their money. They held their own money. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Start putting a little something away. And don't touch it. I don't care. When you put it away, you have to act like you ain't got it. I don't care who needs something. I'm broke, I don't have it. Because you don't. You really don't have it. You need that. In case, just in case you need it. Because if something happens and you need to be able to go and buy a little bit of food, a little bit of water, you need to put some fuel in your tank because you got to get somewhere urgently. And you can't go put your card in the ATM because the ATM ain't giving you nothing. Mrs. H, what do? Put some money away. Instead of picking up that extra 6-pack of sodas for, I don't know what, $5 or $6, take that $5 or $6 instead and maybe go to Aldi or some market somewhere and buy yourself a few extra cans of something. If you're not canning, if you're not learning the art and the science, the skills of food preservation, then go buy it. And then start learning it. While you learn, you go and buy what you need. Because in your learning process, between the time you start trying to learn how to start preserving your own food and the time you actually start doing it, You don't know what could happen in between that time. So it's best to just take that little extra $6, $7 and go and start buying the things that you know you're gonna eat. If you're just getting started, I always say start with something that's complete, like soup, like vegetable soups, or cream of broccoli and chicken and soup, or something like that, that you can get from Aldi's and other grocery stores. The chunky soups, it has a variety in it, depending on the type of soup that you get. Start with something complete, and then add as you go from there the things that you like. Make sure that it is food that is ready to eat, foods that you can just open. And if you have to heat them up, fine. But if you don't heat them up, that's okay. As long as they're good and you enjoy it. You can enjoy it whether it's hot or cold. Start there. Start there. If you're on city water, then start buying gallons of water or bottle, however you want to do it. It doesn't matter to me, but just start doing it and put it away. Yeah. Start preparing yourself, you all. Start preparing yourself, because you never know. You just never know when it all falls apart, the condition that you're going to be in or where you're going to be at. Have a plan. What if you have to go and get your babies from school? Have a plan. What if you got to go and get mama? Have a plan. Or daddy, have a plan. Sisters, brothers, nieces, and nephews, have a plan. We need to have a plan. What are we going to do when it all falls apart if we have not been preparing spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, morally? We have to start preparing. Because it's gut-wrenching to me to think that so many people depend on our little money to live, to survive. We depend on it. And for somebody to tell you that you can't get it, even though it belongs to you. You know, these banking institutions, they don't keep a lot of money. They don't keep all your money. They're only required to keep a certain amount. And the rest of it, they disperse it. It goes to different investments here and there. But they don't have all your money. Y'all, please, just consider what I'm saying and start preparing. Go to Aldi's. You know, they have vegetables in the can. I mean, they are very inexpensive on some things. Buy a little 12 case of the soup, and then go back when you about to spend that money on that pizza and wings. That's probably $40. Take that $40 and get yourself $40 worth of emergency supplies. Please. Food, water, first aid, just so many different things. But just do that. Please consider what I'm saying. It can't hurt, you all. It can't hurt. Believe me when I say you're gonna need it. You gonna need it. Pay attention to what's going on. Look at the writings on the wall. You are gonna need it. You are gonna need it. Okay? So I just wanted to share that with you all because, man, my heart is so heavy, so full of concern for all of us. This is a dark hour that we are in. If you're not a praying person, please start praying. If you are a praying person, pray more. If you don't pray, start. But also start preparing, because faith without work . See, I can sit here and pray all day, but if I don't do nothing, if I don't get up, look, because I know some people like to say all you got to do is pray about it. Hold on, let me help you, because that is not true. And I'm just going to come out and say it. That is not the truth. See, scripture says a man that don't work don't eat. Yeah, you pray about it. You pray that God gives you the strength, the wherewithal, or knowledge and wisdom and understanding, education even, to go out and make a living for yourself and your family. He didn't say just pray about it. Yeah, you pray about it. And then he blesses you when you get up to go and do something. You got to do something with these. See, your hands and your feet. You got to get up and go to work. Right? So yes, please pray. Because you got to pray. You're going to need... If you think you need God, you're going to sure enough need him here in just a little while. So you all look, pray. My brother always say this. My brother in Indiana, he always say this. Pray like everything depends on God. Work like everything depends on you. Yeah. Pray like everything depends on God, and work like everything depends on you. All right, you all, that's going to do it for this video. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. Let us, and if we are canning and doing different things and whatnot to preserve food, you all, pick up the pace. Do more of it. Okay? Increase. And when you come in contact with people that you know, encourage them to do the same. Encourage them to start doing it too. If you're doing it, encourage them to do it too. Yeah. Let's encourage one another to do it too. Look. Because some people like, you better go do it. You better go and do it. No. We ain't going to treat people like that. But we do want to lovingly and kindly remind them of the time that we're living in and encourage them to start making ready their homes, their finances, their pantries. their health even. Because your health is very important. Okay? So you all, that's going to do it. I feel like it's something more I should say, but I just don't know what it is. So I'm just going to stop here. What are we going to do when it all falls apart? Whew. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching Homestead Heart. Ready yourselves and your family. We can do it if we encourage and motivate one another. We can do the best that we can. We're going to do our part. And then the rest is up to God. We're going to do our part. And then the rest is up to God. There's nothing else we can do after that. Look, when I've done all that I can do. Well, God, the rest is in your hands. I've worked with these. Get your gardens. If you're not growing food, start growing. If you're not in a place where you have space to grow, fine. Do some research about community gardens in your area. Research community gardens in your area and see if you can get into a community garden. Speak with family who may have backyards and say, hey, if I grow food over here and I share what I grow with you, can I put gardens, raised beds in your backyard? Would you mind? You know, so we got to be as creative as we can, you all. We got to be as creative as we can nowadays. We got to just see what we can do. If you have differences with loved ones, settle those differences as best you can. I know it takes two, but settle your differences. You may need one another. Don't be too proud to humble yourself and ask for forgiveness when you've wronged somebody. Don't be too proud to humble yourself. See, scripture say you can tell the righteous. Well, how can you tell the righteous, God? Because they walk the earth in humility. Don't be too proud to humble yourselves. Seek forgiveness if you have offended. And the other side of that is be forgiving when somebody asks you for forgiveness. We may need each other. We gonna need each other. And our hearts need to be pure. Our hearts need to be free from animosity, envy, jealousy, anger, judgment. Because you know we love to judge each other, right? Oh, we love to judge. Work on removing all of that from your heart. Oh, it's a challenge. It ain't easy. But just work on it. And move on so that God can bless you. When you free your heart and your mind, now you have room. Now you have room. You've expanded your breast, or God has expanded your breast now. Gives you more room to show more love and compassion towards one another. And don't be hard on yourself. You may know that you need to prepare and you haven't done it. You haven't thought about it much. Don't beat yourself up. Just start right now where you are. It's okay. It's okay. Sometimes things hit us at different times and at different places in our lives. That's okay. See, somebody today listening to this is more mature than they were a year ago. And they may receive this message better today than they would have received it listening to somebody else a year ago. People evolve over time, hopefully. And in that evolution, within that evolution, now their hearts and minds are wide awake to receive information that they otherwise would have rejected. So you all, I'm going to end this video here. I hope that I was clear. I hope I didn't offend anybody, because that certainly was not my intention. This is all out of concern, so I hope you hear me. I hope you hear me. All right, y'all, that's it. Ready yourselves. Ready your families. Ready your homes. Do a little bit every day or every week. Make a plan from week to week. Y'all know our home, we're going through so much with our house. I mean, it's horrible, the things that we discovered, man. Oh. Our home was literally falling from under us. We didn't even know it. But God is good and He is so merciful. He's so merciful. And y'all know when you're dealing with insurance companies and stuff, trying to get your place and your house fixed, you know, you pay your premium on your home every month, or however you pay it, every 6 months or whatever. And then when something happens, these people do not want to pay to fix your homes. All that money you pay them for insurance, they make your life hell trying to get them to cover what they said they would cover. Our homeowners insurance is Farmers Insurance, or Foremost Insurance. And it has been a nightmare. You know, that tornado hit our home almost a year ago. I think it'll be a year ago on the 14th or somewhere around up in there of this month. And we are still battling them to make us complete again. So if you need to repair important things in your home, start saving that money to do so. Is my phone? Oh, there we, oh, it's all crooked. I don't know. Sorry, y'all. But, yeah. And I'm talking serious repairs too. I ain't talking about things you can do without. You know, in our case, you know, our whole kitchen had to be ripped out, subfloors and all, because of the water damage. That entire line on that side of our house, where that tree hit our house, all of that was busted open. And you couldn't even tell it because of the way the shingles were. And the guy who came out to do the roof, a lot of you all saw him up there. How did he miss that? Mr. Inspector, he missed it. And it's so unfortunate for us. So if you have home repairs that you need to make, and you know that they may be repairs that you need to just stay in your house, if you got to start saving a little here and there, cutting out the pizza and all of that, do that. And start saving a little bit here and there to try to get those things done, that when it all falls apart, you don't want to be in a house that's falling apart too. Because that's literally our circumstance. That's literally our circumstance. Yes, it is. So, little by little, if you can only do one little piece at a time, do one little piece at a time. That'll be one less thing you got to worry about. When it comes to things like your subfloors and floor joists and roofing and all of that, a little bit at a time, you all save a little at a time so you can get these things done. Because when it all falls apart, you don't want your roof falling in on you and your family. And sometimes we have to gather the men in our family, or the men in our lives, and even the women. And sometimes we have to come together and we have to learn how to do these things on our own, because paying somebody to do it, we can't always afford to do that. So we have to learn how to do things on our own, and learn skills to be able to manage things on our own. Mr. H and I have learned so much being on this homestead, because this homestead came with so many repairs. And a lot of them we had to do on our own. You know, we've had contractors to come in and take advantage and do things all jacked up. And then at the end of the day, we were saying, if this is what they were going to do, we could have did better on our own. So we've learned a lot in the way of repairs. Still learning. We ain't graduated. We still learning. But it's so important for us to get these skills. We're not roofologists. We're not subfloorologists. But we are willing to learn. And we're willing to try to do some things ourselves, and seek counsel from people who may know more than we know, to make sure we're going in the right direction. But y'all, just take all of these things into consideration. Look at everything around you. If you needed to secure yourself and your family in your home, where you couldn't go out. You remember like 2020, what happened when everybody eventually, hey, we on lockdown now? Remember that? See, if you can't go out, is Do you have enough to get you through at least 90 days? Do you have enough? If you don't, you need to go to work right away. You need to go to work right now. Don't wait, you all. Go ahead and get started, okay? All right, y'all. I don't know what's going on with my camera. It seems like it's getting more and more lopsided. I don't know. It seems like it's getting more and more lopsided. So I guess that's time for me to end this video. All right, y'all. That's it. I sure pray that y'all found this helpful and that you are taking it in the spirit in which I am giving it. And I hope many of you who have never thought about it will go ahead and move out and start making some things happen. Go ahead and move out. Put your boots on. Lace them tight. Put your gloves on and go to work. Put on that whole armor of God and go to work. Yeah. All right, you all. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you'll give the video a thumbs up, and I hope you'll share it with people that you think may find the information helpful. And I hope that you won't sit on the information and not do anything. I hope that you'll start today if you haven't done anything at all. I hope that you'll start today. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching Homestead Heart. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm praying for each and every one of you that we can make it through this dark hour. All right. That's it.